Hello again. Let's see, I've completed the two tasks that we discussed in the previous segment. One was make a dot and install it. The other one was get the flat areas lowered to the same level as the outside of the shank. The scratched white line is about 90% gone. I can still see a tiny touch of it in a few spots, which is just where I want because we haven't done final sanding yet. Speaking of dots for a minute, here's the remnant of the little chunk of synthetic ivory that I used to make it into an octagonal shape, and then spin it down on a moving belt sander. And it's not very difficult. You do have to pay very close attention, and as the final dimension is approached, test fit frequently. I repeat, test fit frequently. Circles within circles, a little tiny bit matters, as you know, to get a stem to fit right. Well, in percentage terms, 1/1000th of an inch is still more of one of these little guys. So you need some really fine paper and a delicate touch to get it to be a squeaky fit when you put it in there. But a little practice and it's not too bad. Those of you who are Dunhill guys, this turned out to be, let's see here, 63/1000ths of an inch, and that was determined. You're probably wondering, how do you measure those little dots? And I'll tell you up front, if you try to take the drill bits that are, this is the style of this is probably strange to you, but it's just like a watchmaker's drill, I believe. But if you attempt to match the width by eye up against a white dot or whatever, you'll get it way off. I tried it many times, never succeeded. You'd bet money, you'd bet your life you've nailed it, and then you drill the hole and fill it with white and you don't. And I think part of what's happening is that white appears larger than black when it's really the same size. You may remember when I was a kid, women used to wear dresses and skirts all the time, and they would say black is slimming and white adds weight. I don't know if that's still the current thinking, but it's just the way human brains and eyes perceive shapes and sizes of different colors. So not the right, but an excellent way to measure dot size, and you're going to laugh, it's by eye, but with the following arrangement. Take a block, and I didn't remember to bring it to the camera, it doesn't matter. Pretend this is a blank chunk of vulcanite, right? Drill the holes down the length of it that match your little block here. Drill one of each, and don't worry about carving a little post for them all, because that would be an afternoon's work. No need for that. Just take the trusty rusty fill-in paint, zip, down you go, back and forth a few times like that, then take a blade and scrape it off level and let it harden or dry, whichever that stuff does, and you've got white dots. Is round, made by the actual drill bits you're going to use. And so then all you have to do is match up the size with your little scale for them. And you're thinking, wait a minute, we're talking thousandths of an inch. You'd need to measure it with this kind of a thing. And believe it or not, that is not true. Human eyes are extremely sensitive to concentric circles for alignment and extremely sensitive to diameter when they're white on black or contrasting colors like that. And if you put them side by side and you've got 6 or 8 to match up, you will be able to tell with astonishing ease. You have to try it to believe it, but trust me on that one. unless you have vision problems that are unrelated to just, you know, you can't, there's lots of things you can't see very well, but if you've got good eyes or normal 20/20 vision or whatever, with correction or otherwise, make yourself one of these little scales, and you can also do it for Cassini dots and Ashton dots and Radici dots and all of that kind of thing, and have a little master block of your dots. And it's quick, it's easy, and it's as accurate as anything can be. So, onward. Our next task, we're almost there. We obviously have to get the top and the bottom of this thing. It looks horrible right now. And it also doesn't look so hot from the side because the bladed, this sharp edge out here makes it look a lot bigger than it should. I was going to say is. Well, no, it is that wide, but it's only just the final little sharp edges here. So we're going to go back to that exercise where we did this number on some sandpaper from 3 or 4 videos ago to get, or 2 or 3, whatever it was, to get straight lines on the side. And what you want to do is bring it down on the sharp end to where the little rollover of the scratch mark is. No farther, obviously, but there's a little room to go there. And get the bite zone, or rather the width of the button down to where you want it. And we scratched into the side of that. You need to get rid of that. And however far down you have to go here to make the flat that you're going to be grinding in the side equal width. We don't want any more triangles or spear points. We want it to be level to the depth of whatever that is. And it's because it's a blade shape, it near this side you can see a little easier. Hope it focuses there. Okay, so this has got about 1 millimeter, maybe 2/3 of a millimeter to come down. Well, that's going to make it flat right there. And then take off down the full length of this thing, however far you need to in width, in order to make a parallel-sided, super long, super thin rectangle on the side. And that's why I said back up the line a little bit, leave some extra material here. Remember when we had a piece of tape here, it was just a little bit wider, left it a little wider. That's so we could take this off if necessary. And as long as you've done your homework on the rest of this, that should be it for the gross shaping, with the exception of the top and the bottom. But that's its own little thing, and I don't want to start on that when I'm this deep into a separate video. So I'm going to leave it at this point, do what I described here, and then come back and we will work on getting these 2 surfaces straight. And the button work, I don't know if I'll even show you that beyond the rudiments, because I went into some detail on the first set of videos I did, which was another Dunhill pipe, and that would be truly repetitious, I'm afraid. So I think I'll just link you back to that one or something. Anyway, maybe not. Depends on my energy level. But there we go. It's really starting to look cool. And I was never a squat bulldog guy on my own, meaning when I started smoking them myself and buying pipes and stuff. And then the more I began to work on them and see the cool stuff that people would send me, and I took a strong liking to it. It's just so attitude filled, I guess is the right word. Just looked neat. Anyway, that's it. I will trim the sides and come back and we'll do the top and the bottom. Alrighty.